Have you ever wondered why so many people as they age start saying no to parties, gatherings, and big social events? Could it be something more than just being tired? I used to think it was just about slowing down, but as I've grown older, now in my 70s, I've realized there's a lot more to it. In this video, I'll take you through the 7 reasons why aging naturally shifts you towards independence. It's not about loneliness or isolation. It's about discovering a new kind of freedom and peace that comes with truly understanding yourself. So if you've ever felt conflicted about pulling back from social life, stick around, because you might just see this change in a whole new light. Segment 1, the comfort of your own company. As you age, something truly transformative happens. You start to deepen your relationship with yourself. It's like finally meeting the person you've been living with your entire life. You realize you don't need the constant chatter, approval, or presence of others to feel complete. This shift can be incredibly liberating as you learn to enjoy your own company in ways that younger you might never have imagined. For example, you stop feeling the need to seek validation through large social gatherings or group activities. Instead, you begin to cherish the simple joys of solitude, a quiet evening with a book, a long walk in nature, or even just sitting with a cup of tea and your thoughts. It's not that you dislike people, but you no longer need a crowd to feel content. I remember a few months ago when a friend invited me to a big party at their house. There was going to be music, dancing, and a ton of people I hadn't seen in years. I politely declined, saying I had plans. And I did. I had plans to binge watch my favorite mystery series in my comfiest pajamas with a bowl of popcorn. The funny thing is, the younger version of me would have felt guilty or lame for staying home. But now, I felt pure bliss. It was exactly what I needed, and I wouldn't trade that quiet, peaceful evening for the world. The beauty of aging is realizing that your own company is enough. You no longer feel the pressure to perform or fit into the expectations of others. You can finally just be, and that's a gift worth embracing. Segment 2. Energy is a precious resource. As we age, one of the most important lessons we learn is that energy is finite. It's not something we can afford to waste on things that don't add value to our lives. Socializing, while enjoyable, can be one of the biggest drains on that energy. That doesn't mean we don't like people. It just means we've learned to prioritize how, when, and where we spend our time and effort. Think about the difference between attending a big party and meeting a friend for a casual coffee date. A party requires you to dress up, navigate small talk with dozens of people, and stay on your feet far longer than you'd like. By the end of it, you feel like you've run a marathon in your Sunday best. Compare that to a coffee date, where you can sit comfortably, enjoy meaningful conversation, and leave feeling refreshed rather than drained. The choice becomes clear pretty quickly, doesn't it? And let's not forget how staying home can sometimes feel like a luxury vacation. No need to worry about finding parking, what to wear, or whether the host will remember you're lactose intolerant when serving dessert. Instead, you can relax in your favorite chair, order takeout, and watch your favorite show. Honestly, is there anything better than the feeling of slipping into pajamas at 7 p.m. and knowing the only social interaction you'll have is with your dog? It's not about avoiding people. It's about preserving your energy for the things and connections that truly matter. Learning to conserve your energy as you age isn't just smart. It's a form of self-care that ensures you show up as your best self when it really counts. Segment 3. Prioritizing what really matters. One of the most profound shifts that happens as you age is learning to focus on what truly matters, especially when it comes to relationships. You realize that not every connection is worth maintaining, and that's okay. It's not about being bitter or cutting people off. It's about valuing your time and emotional energy enough to invest them in relationships that are mutual, meaningful, and enriching. For many of us, this means letting go of toxic or one-sided friendships. You know the ones, where you're always the one reaching out, always the one listening, but rarely, if ever, receiving the same effort or care in return. It can be tough at first, especially if you've held on to those connections for years. But as you age, you start to see the importance of surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support and uplift you. I remember realizing this with a friend I'd known for decades. Every interaction seemed to leave me feeling drained and unappreciated. After a lot of thought, I decided to take a step back. It wasn't an easy decision, but it opened up space for deeper connections with people who truly valued me, and for more time to focus on my own peace and happiness. Now, I encourage you to take a moment and reflect on your inner circle. Are your relationships bringing you joy and growth, or are they holding you back? It's never too late to set boundaries, nurture the connections that matter, and let go of the ones that don't. Life is too short to spend it on relationships that don't add value to your journey. Segment 4. Health and rest come first. As you age, your body starts to send you clear messages. Take care of me, or I'll make you regret it. Physical health becomes a top priority, and that means certain social situations, like crowded events or late-night gatherings, start to feel less appealing. What might have been a fun night out in your 30s can now feel overwhelming or even uncomfortable in your 70s. Take loud environments, for example. The music pounding, multiple conversations happening at once, and trying to yell just to be heard can be exhausting. Add to that the late nights that throw off your sleep schedule, and suddenly, that party invitation doesn't seem quite so tempting. It's not just about being tired. It's about knowing how much a disruption to your routine can affect your overall well-being the next day, and maybe even the next week. But this doesn't mean you have to stop socializing altogether. There are plenty of alternatives that allow you to connect with others without sacrificing your health or comfort. Consider smaller, more intimate gatherings where you can actually hear what everyone is saying. Daytime meetups like brunches or afternoon teas are wonderful options. They're low pressure, easy on the body, and still give you the joy of connecting with others. The key is to listen to your body and make choices that align with your health needs. It's not about missing out. It's about showing up for yourself first, so that when you do spend time with others, you're able to fully enjoy the experience. After all, taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's the foundation for everything else in life. Segment 5. Noise versus peace of mind. As you age, you begin to truly appreciate the value of peace and quiet. It's not that you dislike people or activity, but you discover that quiet spaces offer something even more precious: mental clarity. The older you get, the more you realize how noise and chaos can clutter your thoughts, while silence provides room to breathe, reflect, and simply be. Think about the difference between a calm evening at home and the chaos of a busy event. At home, you can unwind, enjoy the stillness, and let your mind wander freely. It's restorative, a chance to recharge both physically and mentally. Now compare that to a crowded event with loud conversations, music blasting, and people vying for your attention. While it might have been exciting in younger years, it now feels like sensory overload, leaving you drained rather than energized. It's no wonder that quiet spaces start to feel like sanctuaries. They give you the opportunity to connect with yourself, process your thoughts, and embrace a sense of inner calm. And here's a question for you. Do you find yourself craving peace more than you used to? If so, you're not alone. It's a natural part of aging and gaining perspective. The beauty of this shift is that it teaches you to seek out what truly nourishes your soul. Whether it's a walk in nature, reading a book in a cozy chair, or simply sitting in silence, these moments of peace bring a kind of joy that no party or event can replicate. Segment 6. Independence feels empowering. One of the most empowering lessons of aging is learning to enjoy your own company. You begin to realize that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone else's opinions or approval. This sense of independence allows you to make decisions that align with your needs and values without feeling the weight of external influence. It's a freedom that comes with experience and self-awareness. A big part of this is learning to say no without guilt. For years, many of us have been conditioned to prioritize others' feelings over our own needs. But as you age, you start to understand the power of setting boundaries. I remember the first time I said no to something I didn't want to do, without feeling the need to explain or apologize. A friend invited me to a weekend trip, but I was craving a quiet weekend at home. Instead of coming up with an excuse, I simply said, "Thanks for the invite, but I'll pass this time." It felt liberating to honor my own wishes instead of worrying about disappointing someone else. This independence isn't just about saying no, it's about building confidence in your choices. When you start living life on your own terms, you feel more in control and more connected to what truly matters to you. It's a reminder that you've earned the right to live authentically, and that's something to be proud of. So embrace this newfound independence. It's not selfish, it's self-respecting. The more you trust yourself and your decisions, the more fulfilling and intentional your life becomes. Segment 7. Embracing time as a gift. As you grow older, you begin to understand just how precious time really is. You stop taking it for granted and start treating it as the gift that it is. Every hour, every day feels like an opportunity to do something meaningful. And you realize that how you spend your time shapes the quality of your life. Aging teaches you to be intentional, choosing what truly matters instead of wasting time on things that don't bring you joy or fulfillment. I remember a moment not too long ago when I was invited to a big family reunion. While it was a lovely gesture, I had just picked up painting again, a hobby I hadn't touched in decades. That weekend, I was right in the middle of a project that I was completely immersed in, and I realized that my heart was more invested in creating something personal than mingling at an event out of obligation. I politely declined the invitation and spent the weekend painting, losing myself in the joy of rediscovering my passion. The sense of fulfillment I felt was worth every moment I chose to spend on myself. The key here is to remember that it's okay to prioritize yourself and your time. Society often pressures us to say yes to everything. But when you take control of your schedule and align it with what brings you happiness, you're honoring the gift of time. It's not about shutting out the world. It's about making space for what truly matters to you. So as you navigate this phase of life, don't be afraid to be intentional with your time. Whether it's diving into a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting, the time you spend on what matters most is never wasted. Prioritize yourself. You've earned it. Conclusion. To wrap it up, aging isn't about losing something, it's about gaining a new perspective on life. By valuing your time, energy, and peace, you're embracing independence in a way that's both empowering and freeing. Remember, it's okay to say no, prioritize yourself, and live life on your own terms. I'd love to hear from you. Does this resonate with how you feel about aging? Comment 9 if you agree with these insights, or 0 if you're still unsure but curious to explore this journey further. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Until next time, take care and enjoy the beauty of this phase of life. Goodbye.